Hey everybody, so today I'm going to go ahead and do my nails. These nails have been on for about 2 months. Not that much lifting except on one finger, one of my pointer fingers that I kept bumping into things. I also do have a lot of growth on my nails. We're going to go ahead and take care of that with the fill-in today. But first I'm going to start off by clipping off my nail tips. I decided to do this instead of taking off the polish and then slowly taking the nail down. This is just the fastest way for me to actually get it done. So here I noticed that the design that I had on my thumb, it's a 3D design. It was a little too thick for the nail cutter, so I took off that middle piece and then I tried it again later on. In the video, you will see that I actually take off the side, like the designs on the side of the nail, and that'll help for the cutter to actually go to the desired length that I have, and to cut that off. So moving along, I'm just going to double check the length. This is where I actually go and take off the design on the sides. Now I'm only cutting the tips off right before that free edge of where the French tip actually starts, because I'm going to use that as a guide to the shape that I'm going to be doing. Here I'm just picking out the drill bits that I actually want to use for today. So I'm just taking out the old drill bit that I had and putting the new one in. For anyone wondering, this drill does not screw, it does not have a part where you can screw it to loosen where it attaches to the drill bit, and then put the drill bit in and then put it back in and tighten it up. This one you literally have to pull it off and push in whatever bit that you're using for that time frame. So here I first started by drilling off the design until I realized, let me go ahead and try using my file. So I switched over to my hand file. I do prefer hand filing over using a drill. That's how I learned, so I'm a lot quicker using that method. So once I started seeing some of the green in my thumb go away, and then I realized, let me actually drill the nail down to the shape that I'm desiring, which is the shape, basically like I stated earlier, where the French tip actually started. So I just decided to use that as a guide and go ahead and just take down, you know, the ends or the tips of it, the sides. And then I just went ahead and used my actual file, hand file, to crispen up the shape that I have created with the drill, as well as to take down some of the bulk of the nail, make it as flat as I want. Since I will be doing a fill, there'll be a little bit more acrylic being laid over that area. So here I'm just switching back my bits to this one, and I'm going to use this to actually As I'm showing you, I have some lifting, so I'm going to use this bit to take care of that. And I know everyone has a preferred method on how to remove lifting. This is just the way that I do it. And I make sure not to touch my natural nail. I simply make sure that when I am actually using this bit, that it only gets the lifting area. And then I'll use my finger to kind of flick off what needs to be removed, the area that has lifted, so that way I could minimize the amount of times that the drill gets close to my nail. So this is in real time, this is not sped up. I did have some parts that were sped up, but made the video a little too long, so I just went ahead and cut those out. Here I moved on from taking off any bit of acrylic that has lifted to now doing my cuticles. I go in with this bit to get close. Now I only make sure to drill off the cuticle. I do not do soak offs, not soak offs, but I don't soak off my cuticles, so therefore I drill them off. And I also use this bit as well to try to push up any dead skin that's on my actual cuticle area, so I could clip off a little bit later. Here I am just taking a look at what I've done so far. Now these nail clippers or cuticle cutters, this I actually got from Dollar Tree, and I am very surprised at the quality once I took them out of this box. Now you're gonna see some clips because I was truly amazed. The nail clippers that I was using before, I paid way more money for them, and they do not work as nearly as well as these do. I'm actually at this moment, I'm like, I'm gonna have to go back to the store and get me a few of these, which I will. I would definitely stock up on these. And this is when I realized how easy they were to use. I didn't have to press them really hard against my nail bed. I didn't have to press it hard in my hand as I squeeze to take, to clip off the dead cuticle. It was so easy. So this is after I have completed clipping off my cuticles, and I'm just looking to see what I did. Here I'm just drilling. Now I'm going at the lowest speed that my drill actually goes, and this is just to rough up my natural nail. After that, I'm just dusting everything off. And now I will be going in with a dehydrator as well as a primer. Now the dehydrator, you will see me apply it one time, and then I'll wave it in the air for a few seconds, my hand, and then I'll go back and apply it again for a second coat. My nails, natural nails, actually tend to get very oily, so doing this method actually helps out a whole lot. Next is the primer. Now when I do apply my primer, I only do one coat, and I make sure to, if I miss a little area, to try to just get that area, not to go that I have already previously applied primer to. Now I'm just grabbing my dampen dish for my monomer, as well as my clear acrylic powder that I'll be using. And I'm using the monomer, by Mia Secrets. As you can tell, I did leave a little bit of the behind the scenes in this video. I just thought, why not be transparent and also show my process, my full-on process. Now I do dip my brush into the monomer a few times, wipe it, just to clean it, to make sure it's fully clean before I actually start. And here I am applying the acrylic onto my nail. And here is my washcloth. Now, this is just an old washcloth that is clean, came out the washer, but was almost time to get rid of. Don't know where my paper towels went, so I just made it do what it do, honestly. And like I said, all this is real time, none of it has been sped up, so you guys can actually see how long it takes me to do one nail at a time. I'm going to move on to hand filing. I'm just making sure that they're fully dried. And I'm also going to each finger to make sure that there's no acrylic stuck on the nail as well as on the actual skin. So when I file for the last time, I'm making sure that they're even. The thickness is the way that I want it. The cuticle area is actually flush. Sometimes I do use my drill, but 9 times out of 10 I prefer to hand file everything. And then I'm also making sure that the surface is nice and smooth and the shape is exactly the way that I want it. Now moving on, I do not have the color that I want, so what I'm going to end up doing is mixing this 1.2 color by Model 1s. That's the name brand. They didn't come with any names to the colors, they just had numbers. So that one was 1.2 that I'm mixing with their clear base. And I'm doing probably like a good amount of clear base with one really good drop of the actual color. I'm just mixing that together. I want this kind of milky, the way that they say milky white. This color is not necessarily pure white. It has it's more like an ivory, which is what I wanted to go for. So here you'll see me take a brush, and just a random brush that I have specifically for nails before anyone comes thinking that it's for makeup as well. And I'm just doing a thin layer of this polish. Now I will be doing 4 thin layers, extremely thin layers, and then move on to the next nail. And this is also without any base coat. Throughout my whole process, I went back and used these clippers, and just when I noticed something, I'm just making sure I do use my nail sometimes a different brush as well to make sure that I'm cleaning up around the cuticle area. So I'm gonna let that cure, and then after all my coats are on, this is what it should look like. And I'm gonna use this clear polygel. I'm gonna use this little spatula just to take out a very small dot of the polygel and just put it on my ring finger as well as my middle finger. Okay, once I'm done with that, I'm gonna go ahead and grab my top coat. Without curing the polygel, I'm just gonna go ahead and put the top coat right over that and kind of use the base of that brush to move it where I wanted the polygel after I'm done. This is only if the polygel has moved. Now here I am just picking up a small pearl. These are half a pearls, and I'm just putting it on top of that polygel. Yes, I have still yet to cure. So after I pop these in, or on I should say, I'm going to pop it into the lamp, and that will cure everything into place. Here we're just going to add some cuticle oil onto both of our hands or fingers I should say. Once that is completed, I'll rub them in, and that'll be all. So this is the end of the video. I hope everyone enjoyed it, and I will see y'all next time. Bye.